What is up, Crocs and clan members and others who have stumbled upon this video? I am SoresanCrockxen, and I am bringing you guys another anime review. And today we're going to be talking about the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Now, this anime is based around the main character, one of the main characters, Haruhi Suzumiya, who creates a club which is based in order to find paranormal beings in the universe, be it aliens, robots, espers, time travelers, anything that has to do with that paranormal universe in her world, because she's fascinated by the stuff. So, in this anime, which was created in 2006, it was aired in Japan. 3 years later, in 2009, it was re-aired, adding a second season to it, making it a whole 28 episodes, and they included a movie. Now, I personally suggest watching the movie after the entire series because you can picture it like this. It's the last few episodes of the anime because it continues off what the 28th episode was and finishes the story, basically. Now, this anime has 5 main characters, 3 support characters, and then another character which I'm going to be including and I'm talking about, who shows up in the beginning and then turns into a sort of antagonist in a little bit later, and then it just disappears for the rest of the anime. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna be talking about the main characters and if there's anything associated with them. So first, we're gonna talk about Itsuki Koizumi, which is the Esper of the group. So an Esper is basically a person who has psychic abilities. He basically integrates himself into the group. He works for this thing called the agency, which we never actually see. So we don't know if it's a building or if it's just like a group of espers and somewhere around the world. We did meet part of the organization, but they were only there for an episode, so I don't consider them that important. Um, so that's basically it. He's actually very knowledgeable about a lot of things, um, which kind of confuses the main character. I personally thought he was a creep, and he was that character who you were like, I don't know if I should trust him or not, because he had that weird fake creepy smile that you were just like, I don't know if I should trust this guy. So before him showing up, we had one called Mikuru Asahina, who is the time traveler of the group. She was actually integrated into the club, which was by the main character. Um, for no, there was no real purpose in her mind, but so Mikuru was integrated, and she's basically turned out to be like the mascot slash sex icon of the group. Basically, if they did anything that involved attracting attention, sorry, anything that needed attention, she would dress her up in these ridiculous costumes, to which basically showed off a lot just to try to get people to notice them. So she was just abused by the main character. She has a friend. Her name is Tsuruya, and she is kind of like the main character. She's very, very hyperactive. She's kind of crazy. She wasn't there a lot. Like, she was in a couple episodes. And in the movie. Her quirk was that she talked really, really fast, and she laughed for no reason. And she had a tooth that came out, which made her like lisp, and um, she had a lisp, and then I don't know, she didn't have anything special, but she was best friend with time traveler, so people thought maybe there's something weird with her. Um, and then we have Yuki Nagato, who is my favorite out of all the characters in this entire show. By the way, she's like the greatest out of all of them. She is a humanoid interface. She is basically a robot created by aliens, which it's I don't know, like they never actually show the thing, or what it looks, what it looks like, what it is. We just know that it's a data integration thought entity. That's what she calls it. We don't know what it is, but it's mentioned a lot throughout the series. Now Yuki Nagato, she's actually the one that does the most in this anime. Like, out of all the characters, she does so much in this anime. The character that I mentioned earlier, who is Asakura, she is the same thing as Yuki, but more she's her backup. So she was in the anime in the beginning. She's basically the class president, and her job and Yuki's job at the same time is to watch for the main character Haruhi. Like they're supposed to make sure nothing happens with her, and they're all focusing on her. Now the reason why I said she disappears is because at a certain point she decides that if she kills Kion, who's the other main character, she could get a reaction from Haruhi and thus see how it works. So she basically, there was a bug in her program. That's what they call it. If there something like this happens, it's a bug in the program. So Yuki had to basically make her disappear. There was a fight between them when she was about to kill Kion. She comes in and she basically destroys her and makes her disappear, just like that. And then comes out with a fake story that everybody later believes that she moved to Canada, which is funny. So the two main characters, Haruhi Suzumiya and Kion. Now Kion has two friends, which I wrote down. It's Taniguchi and Kunikawa. These two are in a lot throughout the series. Taniguchi is more of that friend who Kion later ends up like sort of hate. Like it's not really like a hate, but gets angry with him, and it actually works in the anime because of this conflict between the two. Because he's always making fun of Haru, he makes Kion realize how much he cares for her. Now Kunikawa is more like the silent type, so he's there to try to help Kion while also being overthrown by Taniguchi. But Kion, I guess, has respect for him. He really cares for these two. So Haruhi, the main purpose of this anime, what is? She is your typical hyperactive high school girl who wants the world to be more exciting. So that's why she created this club to find these beings. Um, Here's the thing. She has this weird power that she doesn't know about, where her subconscious mind can create situations in everyday life that could screw up Kion, or that basically screw Kion's life. The way they met was weird in the first episode. She was like the crazy chick that everybody knew about, but they didn't want to talk to her because she was strange. But he decides to talk to her, and then that's how the adventure begins. Koizumi sees her as a freaking god because of this ability of hers. Basically said, if she's depressed at some point or if she's bored with something, shit's gonna happen. For example, there was a point in the anime where she was bored of the world because nothing interesting was happening, and she literally created a new one with her and Kion themselves alone in this world. If it wasn't for Koizumi showing up out of nowhere and try to help give Kion a clue, because nobody, like Kion knows that Mikuru is a time traveler. He knows that Koizumi is an expert, and he knows that Yuki is a alien robot. But Haruhi cannot know this stuff. So he talks to Kion, Koizumi talks to Kion to try to fix this, and later on he gets help from Nagato, kind of a hint of how to fix it, and then he ends up turning the world back to normal. This is all because Haruhi was bored. Let me remind you, she was bored of the world, so she created a new one where everybody else didn't exist except for them too. And there's this giant alien that came out of nowhere that was basically destroying the place where they were at. And she liked that. Also, on another point, something that she does, there is a set of 8 episodes, episodes 12 through 19, which I do suggest watching them all, but it involves a time loop. The 5 main characters are basically stuck in an infinite time loop for a certain number of times. So in the 8 episodes, you actually see the same thing happening over and over again, with some slight changes and differences. But I suggest watching them all because you can kind of see the process of every time. Because there is one character, and I'm not gonna. I mean, I guess I could spoil it, Nagato is unaffected by space and time, so this time loop had no effect on her. She kept living everything over and over again. I'm not gonna say the amount of time, but it's freaking crazy, and you should definitely watch every episode so you can see how crazy it gets. Now, as another spoiler, a small change that happens in these episodes that I'm gonna tell you guys is that they go to a festival and Yuki buys a mask in every single time, but it's always a different mask. So that's something sort of different you notice. There's other stuff that you notice if you really pay attention, and you'll see this. The movie in itself was kind of crazy. Um, I'm not gonna spoil anything about that, but I really enjoyed it. Like, if it wasn't for that movie, I would have been like, because a lot of stuff that happened in the anime were pretty darn crazy. But the movie just home run right there, man. Um, I really enjoyed it though. So this anime, like to me, was kind of I was kind of skeptical of watching it to begin with, because any other anime that I've seen, like where it's a female main character, there was certain aspects that I didn't like, but this one I enjoyed it because the fact that the main character Haruhi is both the protagonist and the antagonist at the exact same time worked great for this series. Now, I did read somewhere and I kind of agreed with it. Kion is more of a main character than Haruhi herself because the story is told through his eyes. Because since he saw everything, he's actually narrating some of the story in the background. Which, I don't know. It was weird because him as a character is fine. He's a lazy. He's a smart guy, yes, but he's lazy in the fact that he doesn't like there's a study if he needs to study for something, he doesn't do it. Like, he waits till the last minute. So he's very lazy and just not outgoing enough. So it kind of clashed with Haruhi's personality, which made it work even better. Um, what else should I say about this? Oh yeah, he actually, even though he's a normal high school student, there is a reason why Haruhi got him in the first place. Like, there was a reason why both of them were meant to interact, and we do find out the reasoning for it in the movie. So that's why I suggest watching the movie, because it ties everything that happens in the anime together. And we find out his reason in this group because he's the only normal one in the entire group. Um, so yeah, this anime, like I said, it was amazing. I really did enjoy it. Besides, 28 episodes is not really that long of a series, and a movie. Now I do say the movie is freaking long. It's almost 3 hours long. So you're gonna be stuck there watching it for a really long time. Um, but like I said, if you have seen this anime, leave a comment down below. Which character was your favorite? Like I said, Nagato was just a G. Like, everything she did, I was like, is something's gonna happen, because anytime she's evolved, it's gonna be freaking crazy. Like, she can do basically anything. Now, the movie kind of, even though I enjoyed it so much, I was a little upset. Like, it made me feel bad for her because of the reason. Like, the movie just made her. I don't know. It was weird. Um, I don't want to spoil anything in the movie. I want you guys to find that out for yourself. So if you haven't seen it, I do suggest watching it. It is a lot of fun. Push through those 8 episodes. I'm not even joking. You have to push through all of them. Um, it's just crazy how it all ties down in the end. Um, so thanks again for watching. Leave a comment down below if you watched the series. What did you think of it? Did you enjoy it? Which was your favorite character? If you haven't watched it, like I said, I really suggest watching it. So, this has been SoresanCrockxen with another anime review. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.